So at the exact cross from Mol, 5th round of 7 in the series. Favourites on the start line, Alvarado, Bakker. They're taking slightly slower starts for the pair. And it was the Spanish rider Quilter Vega coming through, and then Julie Brouwers and Moers Zamanova, the younger riders, the upstarts that were taking it to Alvarado and Bakker.
As you say, Bakker and Alvarado, slightly slower starts, but rode into it, and they were far from the front within that leading group after one lap of racing, and Alvarado soon took control. Bakker had a small mechanical problem with her rear mech. Alvarado took advantage of that and pressed on through the sand, but wasn't able to get rid of anyone at this point. It was on this single track section where she rode it well, and there was small mistakes from behind with Fleur Moers putting a foot down here and there. And this was the beginning of Alvarado opening up that gap.
Alvarado riding technically well through the sand on the steep climbs, and as soon as she hit the front was always putting people under pressure. Moers here making a number of mistakes on the sand, and that was her drifting off back of the group. She did manage to get back on for a short period of time, as well did Bakker, but straight away Alvarado. And at this point it was a beautiful sunny day in Mol. The front through pulling clear. Brouwers doing a really good ride, hunting on that podium. It was on these steep climbs though. This is where Alvarado was at her best, forcing Bakker to make mistakes, making Bakker continually get back on the front as we came into the halfway point.
Alvarado seemed always in control, just opening a gap here and there, but then taking recovery on different easier sections of the course, allowing riders back to the wheel of hers. She eventually, on the 4th lap of 6, followed Bakker for an entire lap, probably just gauging where Bakker was strong, where Bakker was potentially weaker than herself, and just sat in the wheel for a full 7.5 minutes of racing.
Alvarado taking a toe off the taller Dutch rider Bakker, but when they got to the start-finish, Bakker looked round for a bit of assistance, but actually it's Alvarado attacked off the wheel, full road style, launching one up the outside, instantly getting a gap on Bakker, and had the sense, having followed her for a lap, that she had some extra speed on this course, and once she got the gap was not seen again, putting the pressure on the gap going up. Bakker trying to respond. Brouwers doing a really good job of following Bakker and trying to hold on to that podium. But it was Alvarado on this 5th lap of 6, absolutely flying, and would go to make the fastest lap of the race by over 10 seconds from any previous lap as the snow started to fall.
Had a good gap going into that final lap. As she said in her interview, this snow falling and actually settling on the ground on the final lap made it quite tricky in places to find the good line, but she did just about manage to. The gaps behind did close up ever so slightly, as she took no risks on this final lap.
It was Alvarado, the gap going out, at one point going up to just under 20 seconds. The snow falling and settling as we came up to the finish line. Never mind the riders seeing the line, it's hard for me to even see the winner, as we saw Alvarado coming up to take her first victory of the season, having come back from injury, missing the early races. Winner here last year, making it 2 in a row for the Phoenix Premier Tech team. Alvarado taking the win, Manon Bakker second, Julie Brouwers in 3rd position in what turned into be the snow edition of Mol. See Julie Brouwers 3rd position, great race for Brouwers, 26th place and a well-earned podium position. So there we go, your top 10, Alvarado, Bakker, Brouwers, Moers, Zamanova, Hartog, Kals, Dragova, Desplev and Molengraaf. You see how much snow is now falling in Mol.
Ceylin, Alvarado, how important is this first victory of the season for you?
Yeah, I think it's a very nice one. Of course, with my late season start and then all the injuries and bad luck I had so far. But yeah, riding today with a good feeling and with no back issues was makes the victory even sweeter.
Did the circumstances surprise you in the end?
Yes, a little bit. It made it also hard seeing the lines in the sand with all that snow, but I think it's an extra.
taking her first win in Europe this season, making it 2 wins in the last 2 years on this circuit. And the confidence that will give her going into this weekend, and also the championship races coming up in January. National championships for all the countries next week. And then we go into a period of World Cups, Worlds at the end of the month.
En dan komt er ook nog een groot klas. Met de felicitaties. Er komt nog een groot klas. Vlaanderen Super 800. En dat gaat overhandigd worden door onze minister Rob Beenders.